you told me you wanted to talk about this week. The new Charlie Sheen docuseries. I feel weird calling it a docuseries. It's just 2 episodes. Um that came out on Netflix.
Well, it's like 2.5 hours. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a movie though,
yeah,
just a
but
regular documentary.
it does have. I'll tell you this off the gate. It is kind of annoying because it does kind of feel like, look, we got Charlie. Let's let him take it whatever direction he wants, because I think it's been a long time, but he was a megastar at one point, like in the like late '80s, early '90s. Guy
Yeah.
was a superstar, and obviously he's a huge get for anybody filming a documentary, especially if they're trying to sell it to Netflix. But it did feel a bit like a. I guess it's not fair to say it's a puff piece because he revealed basically everything about his life, about his
Oh
personal,
yeah. Oh yeah.
like way too much.
Yeah. Those last 20 minutes were pretty interesting.
I think I'm just bothered by the fact that there's so many of these documentaries on Netflix now where it feels like it's just a revolving door of anybody have a really tarnished career and they want to come and repair it on Netflix. Go ahead, come right on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like the
I mean,
Jussie Smollett thing a couple weeks ago, it's just a giant jerk off session of, look, we know we're going to get eyeballs if we put this, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like controversial figure on
mhm,
your TV screen for a couple of hours.
mhm.
We know people are going to watch. And then also it gives the director an opportunity to unleash whatever false narrative about the person they want.
Yeah. Wait, false narrative?
Well, the Jussie Smollett thing was kind of BS, right? I mean,
Well,
it
you
was.
pretty much told us that you believe he was innocent after that.
I did not. I did not.
Let the record state, Shorts said that Jussie Smollett was framed by the deep state.
Hashtag free juicy.
No sports, no politics. No, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, dude, they're kind of doing with documentaries what they did with fucking comedy specials, where it was like an event. It was something to look forward to when a new comic was like, I've been working on these jokes for 5 years. I'm ready to put it out as a special. And now now comedy specials are just a cash grab for uh, whatever popular comedians are, you know, in with Netflix.
Well, and if you think about it from an engineering standpoint, it's so much easier and cheaper to produce a documentary where it's pretty much one or two cameras the entire time. You don't need a massive crew to film it. You can knock it out in probably a day, 2, 3 days tops, and
Yeah.
then everything else is just editing. So it's probably super cheap to produce, and it gets a ton of eyeballs. So it's an efficient business model for them to keep just pumping these things out.
Pause. But anyway, so I watched this documentary or docu series, and I don't know what your take is on Charlie Sheen. You talking about him being a star. Mine is like I feel like you and I are from the uh are from the era where we grew up with him not really as a like but famous movie star, but really just as like a former movie star who was on Spin City. I never watched Spin City growing up. And then in high school and stuff, he was on Two and a Half Men, and I never watched that, but I knew how famous it was, and I knew the theme song. Men, 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 and the movie that yeah. Ah, but the movie that I have seen him in that I do know him from because I wanted to be black when I was growing up was Money Talks with Chris Tucker
That's
and
so
Charlie
funny.
Sheen.
That is like the C list of all C movies in terms of like his entire career. That's so
Bro,
great.
bro, that movie, at least like in the hood, and I know this because I lived in Florida where I went to school with primarily black and Cuban kids. Um, that movie was like one of the go-to comedies back in the day. I saw that movie in theaters actually, Money Talks. Um and I think we've talked about this before, but the term fat when you call a girl fat, but it's like PHAT.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that term originated from Money Talks.
it might have. Wasn't there a shot where Chris Tucker goes, "Fat"? No, like fat. PHAT, like pretty hot and tempting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so he's introducing Charlie Sheen is introducing Chris Tucker to his fiance, and she's like he's as they're walking in, she's like by the way, do not say anything about, and this is 1997, by the way. Yeah, actually, I have that shit pulled up. Yeah, Heather Locklear. Oh my god, she was such a smoke show back in the day. Let me just share it here. It's okay, dude. He's like, don't say anything about my wife. My wife's wait.
Yeah, look who's talking.
Anyways,
Dude, I feel like Chris Tucker didn't have the extended run that he deserved.
I agree with you, dude. Like, he was so funny in basically every movie he's been in.
And I know he had the Rush Hour franchise, which was great.
Yeah.
But like, shouldn't that have warranted him like another at least 5 years?
Well, I think what happened to Chris Tucker, I mean, I'm just speculating, but I think what happened to him is like he just made so much money in the 90s that he was just like, I'm just going to chill for a while now.
Yeah, I could see that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cause he had, but anyways, SKN says shorts. Why would you call Money Talks a C-list movie? That was and still is funny as shit. Yeah. I think you got to go back and watch Money Talks, dude. This movie is, people sleep on it a little bit.
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't think I ever saw it. So
Okay.
that's probably why I'm probably completely relegating it to C class because I have no file on it whatsoever.
Well,
So,
I mean, to be honest with you, people don't really talk about it like that often. You know what I mean? So maybe you're right. But
when you think of like, I don't know if compendium is the right word, but the compendium of of Charlie Sheen's entire library of work.
yeah.
I mean, it's probably on the C level of like the guy was in Platoon, which won Best Picture. The guy was in Wall Street, which is one of the greatest movies, certainly in my opinion, of all time.
Yeah.
So he's been in like incredibly huge, iconic blockbuster movies. So it's just hard to look at those at the top and go, yeah, Money Talks belongs up there. But yeah, I'll give it a watch, obviously, and give it its fair judgment. You know, 35 years after it came out.
But anyway, so yeah, so that's like kind of what I knew about him growing up. I didn't really have that much of a file on Charlie Sheen. And then when we were working the radio station, I remember we were still in Fairfax, Virginia. This is when this him getting fired from Two and a Half Men, him going public with his HIV diagnosis, all that shit. The whole winning tiger blood, like that's kind of when that shit happened, at least in our lives. So like that's kind of what I associate it with. But I've never looked at Charlie Sheen and been like, oh, this dude is a fucking megastar, you know? So watching this documentary kind of like put his whole career into a different perspective for me.
Yeah. I feel like we should work our way almost beginning to end. We don't have to hit every single note or everything, but first of all, it opens up with such a bang. And there was so much that, like, we're 38, right? We're both 38.
Mhm.
So we did miss a large portion of his career. Like, I knew about him from Ferris Bueller because I had an uncle that bought me the movie for my 10th birthday. So
That's
I saw
funny.
that movie like way younger than I was supposed to. But that's literally where my Charlie Sheen file begins. I should
Money
say.
Talks was like one of the first DVDs I ever got from a pawn store. So that's
Yeah.
funny.
But so a lot of it was learning new information for me, and that makes it fun. That's part of the allure of these documentaries that follow a guy's entire life.
Mhm.
Is it's almost informative to people that were too young to witness it themselves. So
Mhm.
it's also that kind of comes with a cost too. It's like if they are just straight puff piecing a person, like Juicy Smollett or something like that, like, and then a kid who's like 15 sees it for the first time and they go, "Oh, Juicy Smollett was completely done wrong by the Chicago
Yeah.
police." It's like it opens up a whole new world of like flat earthers for that particular person.
Mhm.
I'm always a little leery of that, but you know me, I'm a bit conspiratorial in that way.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, for sure.
But
Um,
but the show opened up with a bang. I didn't know. I mean, can you imagine the high, the just natural life high of being so untouchable that you're on a plane, 737, 300 people on the plane, the pilot mid-flight, 30,000 feet in the air, just leaves it on autopilot and goes, "Can I get a picture with Charlie Sheen? I hear he's on my plane." And Charlie Sheen walks in there, at 3 sheets to the wind. He's already half drunk, and he asks the guy if he can walks into the cockpit mid-flight, which, as we all know, post 2001 is a big no-no. Walks into the cockpit mid-flight, borrows the pilot's jacket, his hat, then sits down, and the pilot actually lets him commandeer the plane.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. I have my thoughts. I'm a natural born hater. I can get into it if you want to. But yeah. Um,
What do you mean?
I don't know, dude. Like a lot of the movie felt like him humble bragging about how insanely like how much of a rock star lifestyle he lived and how
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How great he could have been if he didn't fuck up or try to sabotage every single opportunity he was ever given. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm obviously a hater. You know what I'm saying? But like, dude, I've okay. Let's the way his life starts out, and Matt Broderick's faithful listener of IDM, faithful dog. We're gonna give spoilers during this, so don't be mad if I tell you, uh, that him and Denise Richards got divorced. Okay,
All
we're
right.
gonna get
You gotta let
into
me you gotta let me fill people in on why that's hilarious.
it. I mean, sure,
All right.
sure.
So Othman's been doing an awesome job with the YouTube videos, right? Breaking stuff up, conversations we have on the show, and then putting them out as individual YouTube videos. We're getting a ton of extra clicks and subscribers and stuff that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten had Othman not grabbed this bull by the horns himself. But
Hey, thanks, man.
there was one story that we talked, some documentary or some shit, another Netflix fucking pile of trash, and it was about some it was about some girl getting bullied over text messages, and the thumbnail that your AI machine spit out literally was a spoiler to the entire, not only documentary but the entire YouTube video itself. And it just said in big block lettering, "It was the mom. The mom did it."
But dude, that's not and Matt Starcheck commented on it and said, "Well, I was gonna watch it, but I guess no, no." That's not the only time. He's also commented when I was talking about some movie that had just came out. And he was like, "Well, I guess I'm not gonna watch that movie." So Matt brought us just a heads up. Um, but anyways,
So
so let's talk about how his life starts, dude.
yeah.
Charlie Sheen's life starts. He's the son of a famous actor, Martin Sheen, very good father. He's got two other brothers who um uh the one brother kind of seemed like a did you get the vibe that he was gay? The
Ramon.
yeah. Yeah.
Ramon.
Yeah.
No, but maybe. I mean,
Okay.
spoiler
Well,
alert for the end of the Charlie Sheen talk.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so he has one brother who's a non-actor and another one who is an actor who is like big time, Emilio Estevez. And Charlie Sheen was butt jealous of his brother and how like his rise to popularity and fame and all the chicks and shit.
This is
Right.
a great example, by the way, of how it's fun. It's a fun watch for me as a 38-year-old to fill in the gaps of information that I didn't know. Like for some reason, I always imagined that Emilio Estevez was younger than Charlie Sheen. I didn't realize that Charlie Sheen was the younger brother.
Yeah, me too, actually.
And I
Yeah.
also didn't know that Emilio was like super famous before Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
timeline didn't exist for me prior to watching this.
Yeah. I mean, I only know Emilio Estevez from the Mighty Ducks. And
Yep.
I think that was before Charlie Sheen was famous. But anyways,
And Young Guns.
oh yeah, I've never seen Young Guns. I should check it out. It was good.
It's great. It's a classic.
So he's butt jealous of his brother, who's like super famous, and he's in high school, and I think I had a 1.2 GPA, and I attended. He's talking about how he barely went to school and shit, and his parents are like, "What the fuck, dude? You gotta fucking do something." I think I'm just gonna be in the family business.
I think I had a 1.2 GPA. I stayed at home playing Halo 2 with my friends and then went to West Virginia University for a year and a half.
The life of Blue Shorts Sheen. Blue Shorts Estevez. Uh, so yeah, I think I'm gonna. So he's like, I'm just gonna try to be an actor, I guess. And his family's like, all right, cool. And when I heard that, I was like, dude, you don't even understand like how convenient that is
I
to
know.
just
I
be a
know.
fucking rich kid in Beverly Hills, and you're just like, I'm not really into school. I think I'm just gonna try to like play pretend as an adult, and maybe that'll work out.
So I was 36 and I got laid off from my job at the radio station after 15 years. And I figured, sure, I'll give construction a shot. Sorry.
So I think like his first job is like some shit movie that he had to film in Budapest called like Grizzly Part 2 or something like that, a horror flick about a grizzly bear. And then his second audition, they try to give him the Ralph Macchio spot in the Karate Kid. And
Yeah.
he's like, I wanted to do it, but my dad, he's like, your word is your bond, all you got in this world is your your word and your balls. So I, I'm like, okay, that was a pretty easy transition from being a fucking flunky in high school to almost the Karate Kid on your second audition, you know. And again, guys, I know I sound like a hater. I am a hater, but let's be honest, dude. That's a pretty. So far, his life has been pretty easy,
It's been a cakewalk, dude. I mean, to fall out of bed after not graduating high school and to just immediately have an acting career within a couple months.
Yeah, I know, dude. Think
And
about it,
then
dude.
not only that, then he then he gets his next role after turning down Karate Kid, and he was lamenting about how much it burned, it chapped his ass to lose that role, but he'd already promised he would work on another movie, and like you said, Martin Sheen was like, "Word is bond, brother, so you gotta honor your word."
Yeah,
He skipped out on Karate Kid. He couldn't believe like the millions of dollars that he missed out on because Ralph Macchio becomes a giant star and goes on to make like 4 Karate Kid movies from that. And then he comes around in typical Hollywood elitist fashion. He goes, "But looking back on it all, I guess it kind of worked out for me. Maybe not so much for Ralph Macchio."
yeah. Must be nice, you fucking piece of. Yeah, I know, dude. Uh, yeah. I guess Ralph Macchio got like kind of put in a box, like typecast a little bit.
Rubbing salt in the wound, losing.
Losing. so so he has that that's the beginning of his career, and then literally the next role he has is what is it, Breakfast at Tiffany's, or no, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right?
Yeah.
And he has a tiny role. For those who haven't seen it, it's like a 1 or 2 scenes, right, where he's just like dropout flunky kid, basically playing himself. And he's like, the character is really tired in the movie, so I decided to stay up the entire night to look really tired when I showed up on set. And he's like,
Dude, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
he's like, so I set my alarm for 6 a.m. and I did that stupid thing where I hit the snooze button. And I woke up an hour and a half later, and so he shows up to set on a half hour late. He has like 2 lines in the movie. What are you gonna say?
Well, it just everything seems to always work out for Charlie Sheen.
Dude, yes, man.
And
Yeah.
it is a bit irritating when you look at it from that perspective. It's like this guy is a complete fuck up, but he's failing upwards,
Yeah.
right? Like every step of the way. And he even mentions John Hughes, the director of Ferris Bueller. He goes, yeah, and I thought I was going to get reamed out my asshole for that. And John Hughes, the director, said, all right, let's roll tape. Glad he's here. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm
And then
like, yeah, must be fucking nice, dude.
I shot it, and all the reviews said, you know, it was a pretty good movie, but Charlie Sheen really stole the show with his 4 minutes on screen.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
He is
you,
kind of a
dude.
fucking entitled dick.
It's so annoying, dude. It's so fucking annoying. Like, I because I don't know if you watched the scene that he was in, but it's not like he delivered some fucking like groundbreaking performance that was like, oh my god, did you see the emotion in his eyes? Like, he just had he just looked tired because he stayed up the night before and delivered very monotone lines.
It's even worse than that because also he said he was in the car with his dad rehearsing the lines, and he says the lines for the first time, and Martin Sheen looks at Charlie and he goes, you got it. That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. And he goes, so then I realized I had it on the first take. So I just had to redo what I figured out on the very first time I attempted it.
Yeah, like it was pretty easy. Life has been pretty easy for me so far. Uh, yeah. So anyways, so he does the one scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All the reviews are like, the movie's great, but really check out fucking how awesome Charlie Sheen is. And then it's just off to the races for him after that. Everybody wants a piece of fucking winning Charlie Sheen.
Oh, dude, he gets Platoon after that. And he says that he's on the set of Wall Street, the movie after that he's doing. And he's watching the Oscars on a Sunday on set. And he goes, oh, wow, I guess the movie I was just in just won Best Picture. That's great. That's going to be good for my career.
It's so annoying, dude. He's like, well, I was on the set of Platoon. The director came over to me and wrote out the deal for Wall Street on a napkin. So I was like, I guess I'll do that. Sure. Anyway, so, those are his first. That's the beginning of his career, I guess.
I think I know why Oathman hates me so much. He reminds me a lot of his best friend Cutter Hooter, who just falls out of bed and gets projects in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. Constantly misses deadlines and gets rewarded for it. Yeah, dude. So anyway.
And I too fucked all the hot chicks.
Yeah, okay, so there's that too, like him paying for madams to fucking line up hookers for him, which is another part of his career. And they interview the I guess, I mean, I called her a madam, but she was like the pimp for the prostitute. She was like I don't know what you would call her.
A madam.
Yeah, but apparently she somehow her checkbook got leaked or somehow he got tied up in her finances, and they weren't coming after her for prostitution. They were coming after her for tax evasion. So he was he was like, his name was listed as one of the. And by the way, did you hear this? You hear her go, yeah, so back in the day, travelers checks are things people would use to pay for things that they didn't have money for. And I had some from like Saudi princes and others from Charlie Sheen. She's like, I wouldn't name people, but his name was on the check, so of course they found it. And I was like, bitch, you just named Saudi princes. Like, what are you talking about?
Am I crazy, or did she seem like she was on something? Like, I don't think it was coke.
Oh yeah.
but she
Yeah.
seemed like she was on meth or something was
Yeah.
off with her.
Yeah. Something was definitely off with her for sure.
And that another name, by the way, that I'd heard a million times, I think in rap songs or something, but never actually knew who Heidi Fleiss was. But I guess it was a big problem for Hollywood because everybody was concerned. Basically, what people realized in the mid 90s when she was on trial was that a lot of dudes in Hollywood were paying Heidi Fleiss for hookers, high priced escorts.
I
And so
mean,
they were all fearful when she went to trial that they were going to get named or something. And it turns out that Charlie Sheen's name was the only one that was dropped because he got so cooked up one night that he couldn't make it to the bank or something, and it just wrote her a traveler's check. And when the FBI raided her shit, they found Charlie Sheen's name.
yeah. And so she's like, he's a pussy. He could have just not, he didn't have to comply. And like, basically he's the reason she went to prison for like 4 years. So there's that. Anyways, so he's got drug problems, all this shit. He goes to fucking rehab because they force him to. He doesn't want to. They do an intervention, and who convinces him to go to rehab because he doesn't want to do it? Do you remember this?
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shows up to his house or his dad's house, his parents' house. It's supposed to be his dad's birthday party. And he goes, I walk in, there's no balloons, there's no party favors. Who has a birthday party with no party favors?
There's no hookers anywhere.
I turn the corner and all my friends and my 7th grade English teacher are sitting there in a circle and they say, Charlie, can you come sit down with us?
Yeah. And I was gonna tell him to fuck off, but then I got a phone call in the back, and it was Clint Eastwood, and he said, I don't know, some fucking Clint Eastwood quote, I don't know, but anyways, so he goes to rehab.
Yeah, he said, Charlie, you're one of the good ones. You're worth saving.
Yeah. That was
you need
it.
to get your train back on the tracks. That's a pretty terrible Clint Eastwood, but
that is a good Clint Eastwood quote. Yeah.
All
so he goes to fucking rehab. He breaks out of rehab temporarily to go judge a bikini contest with like Nicolas Cage. It comes back the next day. Everything's fine. He doesn't get in trouble for it. He eventually gets out of rehab and fucking as he's driving home with his one black friend who he loves to brag about because he's black and he's not, he's not racist. They stopped by a baseball field. Do you remember this? This fucking pissed me off so much, dude.
I know it did, but table that for a second. You left out a very important caveat.
Okay.
He goes to rehab. He says, there's this fine black lady behind the front desk. And I say, listen, I've got to go judge these bikini sluts in Palm Beach or whatever, the desert in California. And listen, I'll be back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And if I'm not, I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
So I went to the desert with Nick Cage. By the way, thanks, Nick. You could have told me not to go.
Yeah. What does the black lady say in response? She goes,
I know that's right.
Yeah.
And he goes, so then I show up at 7:40 a.m. the next day. And she has a look on her face, like kind of disappointed because she realizes she's not going to get $1 million. But also, hey, that Charlie Sheen, he's a man of his word. It's like, fuck you, dude.
I know, dude. Like,
you can't always be the star of every fucking story you tell. Like the hero. Like, dude, you are a villain, clearly. You told a black lady who clearly could have used the money because she's working a front desk job that she was going to have $1 million the next day, and then you took it away from her.
That's so true. So he gets out of rehab, he graduates or whatever happens in rehab. He goes home, and on the way home, we stop at a baseball field, and he's with his one black friend, and his friend's like, "Hey man, y'all gotta let Charlie Sheen play." And once they see it's Charlie Sheen, they're like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude, come play, baseball with us." And
I believe the friend's name was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Reggie.
No. Are you doing a bit?
Yeah.
No. It wasn't Reggie. Shouts to Reggie though. But ironically, it was Tony Todd who, when they said it was Tony Todd, I was like, oh, the black actor Tony Todd who plays Candyman, but it was another Tony Todd.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they go to the baseball field. He's up at bat, and what does he do? What happens? He fucking hits a home run his first time at bat over the fence, straight
Dude,
out of rehab.
the way his friend Tony talked about this was irritating in itself. I realize it's like the one decent friend that he has in his life.
Yeah,
He's the one guy who had never done drugs, never done alcohol, and he said
yeah,
that he was in his life for every decade of his life, and it was
yeah. He
all
seemed like a good dude for sure.
And but the way this guy talked about him hitting him, he goes, he gets out of rehab and he hits a home run. I mean, who does that? He was talking about him like he squatted over home plate and laid an egg. Like, what is this? Some sort of magic man? He gets out of rehab and hits a home run in a rec league softball game.
I mean, it was so fucking annoying though, dude. Like, I've never hit a home run ever in my entire life. You know,
You're a little jealous.
I'm jealous, dude. Yeah, but it's like also like, dude. Anyways, all right. So he goes home, fucking straight out of rehab, and I
I'm
forget what.
straight out of rehab.
Yeah, I'm coming straight out of rehab. And then what was the next job? Do you remember?
No.
Well, we don't have to go line by line, basically,
Yeah.
but that's like how it starts. This is where it starts like pissing me off. You know, I'm like, okay, so this whole documentary is just about how amazing he is and how he just like figures out ways to have triumphant victory after triumphant victory. You know, but dude, I mean, there were a couple things that pissed me off. First of all, he grew up with Sean Penn, I guess.
Dude, how crazy was that? They were showing, they used to film, I guess, on this Super 8 camera,
Yeah.
like him and his brothers. They would film little movies in their backyard, home videos, and they were basically just reenacting the parts that they had seen their dad play in movies. And
Yeah.
then there's a part in the doc where, you know, he goes, yeah, it was just us and the neighborhood kids, and they show the neighborhood kids in one of the videos, and they like put their name superimposed over each face that is shown in the home video, and it's just like, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, who was it? Sean Penn, Chris Penn, George Clooney, and it's like, so not only did this guy just wake up out of bed in the morning, have a perfect acting career, but he also had some of the hugest stars in Hollywood that we know today were like just his neighborhood boys.
Wait, is Chris Penn? Oh my god! I just realized Chris Penn, the fat dude.
Chris Penn, notably of Reservoir Dogs and Corky Romano.
That's oh my! I didn't realize that was Sean Penn's brother. I'm so dumb. That's
Well,
crazy.
he's dead now, so you missed the boat.
Okay, my bad. Shouts to Chris Penn. Yeah, it was pretty wild. It's like, oh, okay, so you grow up in Beverly Hills in Hollywood in the 70s and 80s, and you basically are just born into Hollywood stardom. Like, if you were in the right neighborhood, you just become a. Anyways, so yeah, so they interviewed Sean Penn a lot, and
It'd be pretty impressive if they interviewed Chris Penn for the doc.
what did you think of Sean Penn's interviews? Did you?
I've seen him enough times,
Yeah,
to know that he's like all the rest of them. Unfortunately, like I love his movies. Mystic River is incredible, obviously.
it is good. Yeah, I like that movie.
And you know, he's had a ton of great movies, but it's like he was putting on an air.
Dude, yes, man.
It's like he
tried
was
to be so
poignant.
yes, and so like impactful with his words when he just typical fucking like Hollywood, LA. I think my words matter more than they actually do type of dude, you know? But yeah, I got the same vibe.
And you know, I mean, he added to it, but again, if you just take like the big picture of this entire thing, it is just a Netflix redemption arc novella, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what this is. It's just, here's how we rebuild Charlie Sheen. and
Yeah.
that's fine. It's all good. I don't dislike Charlie Sheen, and I enjoyed the doc itself, but that is exactly what this is.
Yeah. So then of course they get into all his marriages, all that shit. Fucking Denise Richards, who I mean, we talked about this before, but every time I see her, I'm like, holy fuck, dude. She used to be literally like top 3 hottest woman on the planet.
Dude,
Like,
you talk about Clint Eastwood telling Charlie to get the train back on the tracks. She looks like she got run over by the train.
dude, I mean, remember her? I mean, I never even saw this movie, but I remember getting a boner every time I walked past the box cover at Blockbuster
Wild
for
Thing.
her and Nev Campbell and Wild Things.
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit? Or
Yeah.
fucking Starship Troopers? Dude, she used to be the hottest woman on the planet back in
Oh,
the day.
Starship Troopers. Isn't that the movie that has your other favorite, Jerry Ryan, in it?
No, is she in that? I didn't
There
know
was
that.
that Battlestar Galactica.
No, yeah, I think no, she's in Star Trek,
Oh.
Star Trek Voyager. But they're very similar. But Denise Richards, when she was younger, she was like super pretty. Anyways, but fucking Charlie Sheen. For those who don't know, he married her Denise Richards when she was fucking creme de la creme, when she was the hottest chick in Hollywood. And so must be nice, Charlie Sheen. Must be nice to fucking. So they have a family, you know.
Dude, it's she's so irritating in it. And I feel bad because she looks like, she just needs some mental help or something.
You know what she looks like? She looks like. Do you remember Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson? Do you remember? There's a scene where Jack Nicholson is the Joker, but he doesn't have the makeup on. Like but his face, he's got that weird smile. That's kind of what she looks like. Yeah, What do you think it is? Do you think it's just aging, or like, do you think it's surgery?
I think she said at some point, she looked in the mirror and she said, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." And she was definitely nuts, dude. She was like, she went off on these sidebars, like these tangents where, not unlike myself, every episode of IDM, but she just went off on these sidebars that were like completely irrelevant to the storyline. There it is. There's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. This is Denise Richards.
That does look just like her. I think it could actually be her.
Yeah, dude. I don't like to hate on women who, as they get older, because like I feel like everyone gets uglier as they get older, but it's just something. Yeah, dude, me too. But there's something about her, dude. She was just like so. Anyways, but yeah, she's got the sort of like she's got this sort of, I don't know what it is, but you know what it is? Like when she was on the Housewives of Beverly Hills, or I don't know, Orange County or whatever. Do you remember that?
Unfortunately, I've been made to watch that a couple of times.
So you remember when she was on the show?
Yeah.
She was such an annoying, coont back then on the show. And I think it did real damage to her, because before then everyone just knew her as like a former super hot chick. But yeah, she was annoying on the show too.
Well, dude, yeah, she was trying to build her own little redemption arc within the redemption arc of Charlie Sheen, and I gotta say, it did not work at all. She just, at one point, she starts like forcing herself to tear up when looking back on, I guess, a tumultuous time in their relationship where, she had to maybe call the cops on him or realize that their marriage wasn't going to work. Something happened like that, and she just starts like, I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad. And she's not saying it all, like using any words to describe why it's bad. She's just going over and over again. It was just so bad. And she looks like she's about to tear up. You can see the producer come on camera, put his hand on her shoulder, and he goes, "Dude, we can take a break." And she's like, no, please keep rolling. Like, I want people to see, like, I want them to see. I mean, it was so bad. It was just so please leave the cameras rolling, please. And you're like, why does she want the cameras to catch this so badly?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I thought it was like her assistant that said like maybe we take a break. She's like, no, let them film. Like this is a docuseries, you know. But anyway, so she's in it and she's annoying and weird looking. And then uh but dude, I feel like I'll be honest, man. I feel like the porn stars didn't get enough run. Like he was engaged to a porn his third wife he was engaged to a porn star named Brett Rossi. Never talked to her. Never talked to Brie Olson, who is like, I mean, she looks like, you know, she looks like gold.
She was. She emphasis on was the lead Charlie's Angel.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, right. Exactly. Like we can't hear from her, you know?
Now she looks like a trucker.
yeah. Yeah. But did you get this? Like we're kind of skipping ahead. We don't have enough time to cover every single detail, but did you get this? Like when he was talking about getting fired from the show, 2.5 Men, and he was in the throes of his drug addiction and shit like that. And Live Nation approached him and they were like, "Hey, you want to do a tour?" And he's like, "Well, you know, I got child support, I got you know, bills to pay, so yeah, you know, I needed the money." But dude, he made fucking $2 million per episode.
I know.
With 2.5 Men.
Well, he said they were withholding some of the money at the time.
But dude, that was like in the 5th season or whatever. How many episodes of 2.5 Men per season? Let me see. That's why, dude. This is why people hate Hollywood actors or Hollywood in general. It's like, yo, the life you're living is insane and it's still not good enough for you. Okay, around 24 episodes per season. So 24 times 2 million, that's 48 million a year. And he's saying, you know, I needed to pay child support, so I had to do this tour. It's like, no, you did not need to pay child. You wanted attention. You liked that you were doing these news. You were trying to control the narrative, so you wanted the attention. You didn't do this fucking comedy stand up whatever for money. Like, don't. That was when I was like, okay, he's for sure trying, like, not being honest about this shit. You know.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Also, like, maybe I'm just a bit of a dullard, but I was kind of blown away. I assumed when he was on that whole winning tear, I guess like 2011, 2012, somewhere in there, I assumed that he was just extremely coked out. I didn't realize that he was doing crack cocaine.
Wait, but okay, yeah. I mean, it is coke, though.
No, I understand, but it is like a more addictive version of coke.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like
I thought he was just coked out.
Yeah, I thought he was just coked out. I mean, he had all the same mannerisms, behavior of somebody who was coked out, but I didn't realize he was literally doing like fucking smoking crack rocks like every night.
I think you can be a functional cokehead if you're not doing like base, like crack cocaine.
What about a functional crackhead?
No, I don't think those exist.
Right. That's like, there's the difference to me. I didn't realize that he was stooping that low the entire time, which, you know, if you guys out there have done some crack, no judgment here, but
yeah,
I was just surprised by it. You know, I was blown away by it. And also really interesting, another opportunity for him to make himself the hero when he tells a story about, you know, I'm seeing this girl, and me and my actor buddy, we both happen to be singer at the same time, which, where's the backstory on that, by the way?
Yeah, pause.
And so she calls me up in the middle of the night. She lives in, you know, the fucking ghetto, and I drive over there and I pick her up. The house looks a little dangerous from the outside, but hey, I go in and she says, you know, I really need to get out of here. Can you get me out of here? And then I knock on the door, and a big, tall man, looks pretty big, like he can kick my ass, opens the door, and I say, hey, she needs to get out of here.
And I go to my car and I pull out my 9mm, just in case.
And then I jizzed in it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like here's the thing though. I'm sure if I met Charlie Sheen, like his big fat waste of life drug dealer friend, I forget his name, what his name was, like Mondo or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time he was on screen, like Charlie Sheen had this gigantic, big, fat waist drug dealer who was just like, yeah, man, we would just, he's like Mexican. He's like, he would just invite me over and we would just party, for like a week straight. I was watching and I was like, man, what a fucking piece of shit this dude is. But at the same time, I was like, man, that was probably awesome though when he was, when he was doing it, because being the friend of a celebrity who can just do whatever they want and go anywhere they want is got to be a fun way to live life. So I was judging him, but at the same time, I try to be honest when I'm judging people. I try to be honest, and I was like, man, I probably would have liked to do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was probably a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Showing Charlie Sheen just throwing chairs into his pool for no reason at all. Meanwhile, while he's in contract negotiations with CBS to become yet again the highest paid actor in the history of television, the dude is just strung out on crack cocaine.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough time to get into every single. I mean, I have so many thoughts, but the last thing I will say is, God damn, dude, the spoiler alert, everybody, and Matt Broderick's, if you're gonna watch it, the last 20 minutes, he talks about this. He talks about how when you're having sex on a crack cocaine, you're looking at the menu. The way he described it was so perfect.
Let's give a shout out to the dogs and Mike Cook, and then we'll get to that.
Okay. Do you want to get to that in the Patreon or?
Yeah, no, we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the big time P1 shout outs. We wanted to do the checking in with the dogs and the super secret supporter chat. Maybe we'll do that during the Patreon.
Or next week.
It's time for our big time P1 shout outs.
Support, subscribe to What Doesn't Matter for 3 times a show on patreon.com/IDMpod. Shout outs to Alex, AJ McCown, Alex Davis, Brendan Cooney, Brandon Smith, Brent Wenzel. Shout outs to Brian Alton, Brian Busties, Carlos N, Chris Eller, Danny Loudermilk, David Slat. Shout outs to Don DeMarco, Ernesto Ladon, Craven Moorhead, Iron Mike Sleep. Shout outs to James M, Jen Montana on Instagram, Straight Flexin. Shout outs to Johnny Walker, JP Flame, Kevin Leahy, Kevin Smith, Korean John, Chris Stein, Lance Parker, Matt Brodericks, Matt Starcheck, and Matt Starcheck. Shout outs to Peter Rosecrans, Bill J, Reggie, Ron Mexico, Instagram.com/Brad Paints This. Shout outs to Sabi's nipple piercings, Sean Kibler, Stephen Snowman, Theo H, William, and Lubomir. Again, you guys can subscribe for 3 times the show, patreon.com/IDMpod for as little as $5 today. We appreciate you guys for supporting us. Thank you.
You guys are assholes, dude. You guys are fucking assholes, man.
No, they're big time P1 supporters, dude.
No, I know. I'm joking. All right, let's as always, let's give a shout out to our guy, our dog, the one and only Money Mike.
In northern Virginia, where the sun always shines.
Next time you guys are in need for a plumber, give our guy Mike Cook a call. Mike Cook has owned and operated his small plumbing business all over Northern Virginia for 20 plus years. There's no job too big or too small for Mike. He's licensed and insured. That means he knows his shit. And the state of Virginia knows he knows his shit. In fact, I would say No plumber out there knows his shit better than Mike Cook.
Winning.
So the next time you guys need a plumber, give our guy Mike Cook a call at 703-501-1926. Mention IDM for an additional 10% discount. Mike Cook, if you give him a call, he'll show up to your place. No matter what the job is, he'll give you a free estimate. That is the IDM special. And say, hey, Mike, by the way, thanks for coming out today on such short notice. I found you from IDM. Hey, you just got a 10% discount. So next time you guys need a plumber, give our guy Mike Cook a call at 703-501-1926. No plumber knows their shit better than Mike Cook.
Hell yeah. All right. So what do you want to do here?
All right. So we got to get to the biggest bombshell of the Charlie Sheen doc.
Yes.
Because they saved, and I loved how they did this. They saved, spoiler alerts, everybody. If you plan on watching it this weekend, definitely listen to the rest of this later. But they saved, they carved out like a sliver of time for the end of the documentary, about 20 minutes or so.
Mm.
And Charlie goes, all right, now I'm going to address everything I've never addressed publicly before.
Well, the producer goes, all right, everyone, we're going to get into the nitty gritty, so can you guys all step out of the room, just give us some space.
Right, which is a little Hollywood magic. It's like do you really think the whole crew stepped out of the room so that he could divulge these details on camera for the first time?
Yeah.
So go ahead with the menu.
Yeah, so he's like, when you're doing crack cocaine. Oh, actually, first of all, Jen Montana actually mentioned something. She said Charlie Sheen also supposedly graped Corey Haim, according to Corey Feldman.
So Corey Haim and Corey Feldman were like two of the it guys in the 80s. A lot of teen movies they did. Lost Boys was a big one. Corey Haim has since left us. He was like a massive drug addict. But Corey Feldman, when he had, do you remember this a couple years ago? He built up this big social media buzz that he was going to out all these underbelly of Hollywood society people.
Sort of. Yeah.
Well, I think it was a part of that where Corey Feldman comes out and he goes, I guess, you know what, Jen? Thank you for leading the way with this. Corey Feldman goes, why do they have the exact same voice? Charlie Sheen and Corey Feldman. Now I'm just Charlie Sheen raped my friend Corey.
Oh my god, dude. Why are we laughing at that? By the way, raping. That's so
Corey Feldman alleged that when they were on a movie set together, and I guess Corey Haim at the time was either 18 or just under or just over. I'm not sure his age.
Yeah.
Feldman, like 40 years later, alleges that Charlie Sheen raped Corey Haim. Why can't we take anything seriously? This is not funny.
Oh, dude, we lost like 5 viewers. So we made it just, raping. Okay, stop. All right, it's not funny.
Bleeding.
Oh god, dude, if it's true, that's really bad. But that was the first thing that they asked him about, and he was like, total bullshit. Why would I ever do that? And honestly, usually like I'm on the side of the victim. I'm like, dude, why would, of course he's not gonna admit to it. But Charlie Sheen was such a Lothario, like just banging every single hot chick he could find. I can't imagine him being like, what about this fucking 14-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Wait. All right. Let's reenact Corey Feldman talking to Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
I'll be Corey Feldman.
All right.
Nobody's talking about this anymore, but you raped my friend.
No, I didn't. Where'd you get that from?
Yes,
Lying.
yes, you did. It's never been reported, but you raped my friend.
Why would I rape your friend? I'm married to Denise Richard. Have you seen her? Winning.
You are the pedo underbelly of Hollywood that everybody talks about.
I can't keep doing that.
They sound exactly the same. All right.
Anyways, so the first thing he does when everyone leaves the room, he denies. I would never. Why would I? Yeah, the guy's a piece of trash. Like he denies it. You know.
He says he shouldn't pursue legal consequences against him, but he was like, "Why give the clown any credit or time of day or whatever?"
Yeah.
So
And so he starts talking about like what he used to do back in the day when he was like high on that crack cocaine. And he's like, when you're on crack cocaine and you're looking at the menu, the sexual menu, you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. I'll try that. And then one day you just flip it over and you're like, oh, whoa, there's a whole new menu. And maybe I'll try that out and maybe I'll have a little sample of that. Actually, you know what? Let me just try a little bit of everything. And I honestly, when I heard that, I was like, oh, he's doing like the John McAfee bit where he's letting girls like poop on his face.
I got to tell you, I was just as thrown by it. I didn't expect what came from the producer's mouth to come next.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
What did you what were you thinking when he was like, oh, you turn the menu over and there's this other
I was thinking like, give me a couple of Asians, a couple of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
I was
Even
thinking
maybe like trans women,
Sure, anything. I was not expecting. So the producer goes, we got to pull this clip. I don't know how to do it. I wanted to just grab my phone and record the audio and play it, but you've admonished me for that in the past, so I didn't.
Yeah.
But it is the biggest IDM drop I've ever heard in my life. The guy goes like, it's literally I timestamped it. It's at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 59 seconds into part 2.
You want me to find it? I can find it in 2 seconds here.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what people are thinking who haven't watched it. Like, what's Bob the Builder thinking? Oh, dude, is he talking about like cream pies? Like, what are people thinking?
Maybe he's talking about like butt stuff. We've all done butt stuff from time to time.
Yeah, dude. I was honest. I swear to God, I was thinking like, oh, does he like girls like boogers like spitting in his mouth? Like what else? What could he be possibly talking about?
Foreshadowing.
Okay. You said it's what is the timestamp?
This is kind of a rough timestamp. 1:13:59.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to cut this out of the YouTube clip, but here we go.
We'll just
yeah. All right, here we go.
1:13:59. That may be a little after.
Okay.
By like 20 seconds, maybe.
All right, here we go. All right.
Other parts of it won't be, but at that point, it's out of my hands, and I guess I encourage them to just have at it.
So this is the first time you're speaking publicly about having sex with men.
Pretty crazy shit.
How does it feel?
It's liberating. It's fucking liberating, and it's
Like finally be able to say things.
just talk about stuff. It's like a train didn't come through the side of the restaurant. A fucking piano didn't fall out of the sky. No one ran into the room and shot me.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
There you have it.
I mean, is that not? I mean, that's the new gaygram right there. Is that not the exact same as I've relationship with women and sex with men?
I got news for you. You might be right, dude. That might have to be the new gaygram.
So this is the first time you've spoken publicly about having sex with men.
Oh, dude, that threw me off so hard.
I just,
Pause.
I got no judgment about it, but I didn't expect that to come.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, but honestly, dude, like when I hear shit like that about like celebrities, um, uh, who are known to fuck a lot of women to explore, you know, gay sex, I'm like, yeah, that's just what happens when you get tired of normal sex. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, no,
no,
no. I've heard people make this argument.
that wouldn't happen to you.
There's zero chance I'm gonna have sex with so many women that I get bored having sex with women, and I go, how about I dabble in dudes?
Yeah, I mean, I
There's
guess
no
so.
way. Dude,
You're right. I mean,
can you imagine being so bored with women that you just go, hey man, check out that guy's ass. Wouldn't it be nice if I pulled those jeans down and saw his butt crack?
I think you're sleeping on how easy it is for these dudes to bang any chick they want. You know?
Nah, there's zero chance. No.
Have you ever like have you ever like explored pools a new like genre in on spank bang or X videos and be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like why am I looking for this porn?
Or you accidentally hit the that little like on X videos, there's that little icon at the top where it's got like it
The
switches,
straight gay trans shit.
but it's right next to the search bar, so you could
Oh,
like
I
be
know.
fumbling around with your index finger on the phone and just end up in a world of hurt.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Also,
there-
every once in a while, the X videos algorithm will try to feed you gay porn.
oh, dude, constantly, dude. Like I have to constantly tell it, hey, I usually don't like trans porn. No, I'm playing. Just joking.
I mean, there is that one time I admitted it on the show a long time ago. And look, I nothing against anybody of any persuasion. And in fact, I'm happy with the way that Charlie Sheen handled it. He was like, "What's the big deal? It shouldn't be a big deal. It's not a big deal." But there was the one time during the OnlyFans phase, which we all had during the pandemic, obviously,
of course.
where we're secretly paying women behind our wives' backs.
Yeah, of course.
And I was just searching for one of my favorite search terms, and that's when I learned the hard way. OnlyFans, the search bar does not work in terms of populating by keyword the way that normal porn sites do. So you might type in, I don't know, jizz on face or something like that, and end up accidentally subscribing to a transgender.
Oh, who hasn't had that experience, dude?
And you might not find out until you're like 2 minutes into the video.
Whoa,
this was a shocking twist.
Wait, but like, do you know what I'm talking about though? Honestly, like, have you? I mean, I'm sure most guys do this where you have a night where it's a rough one. You know what I mean? You're having a hard time falling asleep, and you get a little creative with your search terms, and you're like, I wonder what kind of videos I'll get if I search this shit.
Oh, it's snowing outside. Let me search, I don't know, snowball fight.
Yeah. Or you go to what's that site? efucked.com. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's just like the most revolting shit you'll ever see. Like Jeff the Drunk banging that porn star for Howard Stern, the Howard Stern show, and her crying. Like those are the type of videos that are on that website.
Oh.
And yeah, it's just like crazy. Anyways, but there have been times where I'm like, what am I looking at? You know? So I can sort of relate to Charlie Sheen, not because I want to fuck guys, pause, but because I'm like, man, I wonder if I had like every single chick I've ever wanted to fuck at my disposal and I got bored with it. What would I do? You know?
You're saying you might fuck guys.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna fuck guys.
A guy, one guy.
I don't think I would fuck guys because like dudes' asses and like that's just the idea of like fucking a dude in the face and stuff like that. Like that just makes me that's so gross to me. But like, I could see myself if I was addicted and like could get any girl I wanted, and I was tired of banging every hot chick I ever want. I could see myself being like, I'm not even gonna say it because it's a free show. But
This reminds me of that scene from White Lotus where Walton Goggins meets up with his old like Black Ops buddy or whatever. They have like this like he has like this, I don't know, what do you call that, soliloquy or monologue or whatever.
monologue, yeah.
And his buddy tells him, he goes, they're in Thailand, by the way, just to set the scene. He's like,
Yeah.
I've I was out banging hookers every night, and I was inviting them back to my place, and all these Thai hookers, and one day I just started thinking, like, what is it like to be one of these Thai hookers? And so I invited a couple of guys over, and I dressed up as a Thai hooker, and I had them have sex with me because I wanted to know what it was like to live the life of a Thai hooker. And before you know it, I got addicted, and I couldn't stop having guys over to have sex with me as a Thai hooker. And you're like, holy shit, what is happening here? What am I watching?
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. Anyways, the reason I'm saying this is because I don't feel like I feel like if Charlie Sheen or Eddie Murphy or any of these other dudes who through stardom find their ways into trans hookers and stuff like that, I feel like if they were just regular, ordinary, white picket fence family men, they would never explore that or ever be interested in it. It's just they've had everything a normal dude could ever want, and they're like trying to chase some sort of high. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I wholly disagree with you, but I don't fucking regret that opinion.
Jem Montana says, I've looked up some weird stuff like Hugh cows, LOL, but I've never been tempted by vag. Yeah, I mean, I've never been.
Neither is Othello.
Fuck you, dude.